So this is an example for how you need to do your assignment on homeostasis. I'm basically going to do my own version, or you could say copy if you would like, but I'm going to do my own version of figure 1-4. Let me write that on here, because the white paper is for the actual assignment. So it's going to be figure 1-4, and that is in your e-text in section 1-6 on homeostasis. This is in your e-text. And this figure is an example of homeostasis using body temperature. Body temperature is one of the conditions that you can use that has to be maintained within a narrow range. And body temperature is maintained by a process called a negative feedback loop. And this is your assignment, is to draw the components of the negative feedback loop. And you're going to have to draw when name your condition. So in my case, the condition is body temperature. Your condition can be anything except body temperature. You may use blood levels of certain chemicals like glucose levels, or blood sugar levels are a good one to use, and also calcium, oxygen levels. You can use conditions like breathing rate and heart rate and blood pressure. Levels of potassium, levels of sodium. There's all different ones, and I'm going to name them in the assignment. But you have to name your condition, and then you have to name the stimulus. The stimulus is going to be whatever disturbs homeostasis. So you're going to word that as either it is increasing or decreasing the condition. So in my case, body temperature will increase, and I will show you how the negative feedback loop works to restore the body temperature by decreasing it. But your stimulus is going to represent the disturbance in homeostasis. The receptors are going to be the structure or structures that actually receive that information. So whatever it is in the body that can tell that your body temperature has increased or decreased. And then the control center, maybe the brain, maybe the spinal cord, central nervous system, but it's whatever receives the information and determines what to do with it. So it basically takes in the information and decides where to send, what to do about it, and where to send the information to fix the problem. Many times you can put the brain for the control center, but not always. And you can be more specific. There are certain regions of the brain that can act as a control center. So you're going to have a control center, then you're going to have effectors, which are going to be the structure or structures in the body that actually respond, and they're going to restore the condition. So if the body temperature was too high, the effectors are going to act in a way that's going to lower the body temperature back to normal. And then the effectors, so after the effectors, you're also going to have the response. Okay, so the response is going to be what actually occurs to restore homeostasis. So this is all going to be in your instructions for the assignment. But in this video, so what I want to show you is my condition. I'm going to put in the center, and you can use different colors, and you do not have to do this handwritten. I'm going to do my version, which I know you guys can probably do better than this. My handwriting is not very pretty, and I'm not real artistic, so try to aim for a higher level than what I'm showing you. But anyway, the condition in is going to be here is going to be body temperature. And if you want to, you can write down, like in figure 1-4, I think it gives you the range of body temperature in degrees Celsius. It doesn't give it in Fahrenheit, but you could always look that up. I don't care if you give me the normal range or not. You don't have to. But anyway, this is going to go in the center as your condition. And then over on the side, you're going to put your stimulus. And you're going to have, you probably have it. Okay. Because, and I'm going to do these in different colors just because I want to. You don't have to. But the stimulus here in this case is going to be that, and you can't hardly see that, I'm sorry, but it's the stimulus, and I did it in blue, and it's going to be that the body temperature has increased. Somebody has a fever. Okay, so what happens is that the stimulus occurs, and then you have receptors in the body that are going to be able to tell. They're going to be able to receive that information. So the receptors for body temperature in the human body are going to be body temperature sensors. A lot of times these are in the skin. So they're actually called thermoreceptors. This is not in the figure, but I'm going to put thermoreceptors in the skin because you're probably going to be Googling this information. And by the way, you do need to provide me with, I didn't say this earlier, but you do need to provide me with, gosh, I can't think today, documentation of where you received your information. So just a URL is fine, just the URL for the page that you used or whatever. We don't have to get really, really picky about documentation. But thermoreceptors in the skin have detected your stimulus that your body temperature has increased. So they are going to be connected by nerves to the control center. Let's do the control center in green. No, let's do it in purple. All right, the control center. In this case, it is in the brain, but it's a particular region in the brain called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus helps regulate. It's like the thermostat in the brain, okay? So the control center is the hypothalamus, and the control center is going to send the information to the receptors, and the effectors, and the effectors are going to be a structure or structures which act to reverse the disturbance. That's why this is called a negative feedback loop. So the effectors in this case are going to be blood vessels. Blood vessels in your skin and your sweat glands are going to dilate. I don't think it uses that term, but blood vessels dilate because they're going to dilate so that the blood can flow. Dilate means they expand or increase. So the blood can more easily flow and basically take the heat away to the surface of your skin where it can dissipate into the atmosphere. So your blood vessels are going to dilate. Sweat is going to increase. The action of your sweat glands is going to increase. I'm just going to put an up arrow here because I'm running out of space. I would expect you to do a better job than this, like I said, but and so you're going to have that's one of the reasons why your face or your skin might turn a little bit red whenever you're hot, because the blood vessels are dilating, carrying more blood to the surface of your skin, and then that is allowing the heat that is carried along with that blood to leave through the surface of your skin. Okay, so that you may add more to that if you want to, but that's the effectors. And then you've got to list your response. The response is going to be always returning back to normal. So it's going to be fixing the problem. So here the response is going to be decreased body temperature. Now, the rest of the figure you would need to also do, you would need to start with a stimulus that decreases your condition. I am not going to write all of this out because you can go to figure 1.4 in your e-text if you would like to, but you're basically going to do the same thing. You're going to list the stimulus, the receptors, the control center, the effectors, and the response for increasing and decreasing the condition. And this is basically what you're going to do. And you can write it on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and upload it to the assignment. Or you can do this on some kind of a drawing app or something of that nature. So just depending on your skills with your computer and your art, computer art, that it's up to you how you do it. But I do want you to do one condition. It cannot be body temperature. It has to be something different. And make sure that you name the condition, the stimulus, the receptors, the control center, the effectors, and the response. And make sure you do increasing and decreasing stimulus so that you can show what happens when that condition increases and what happens when it decreases.